Okay, so I'm going to start discussing my process from Arena because that's where I sort of initially started gathering information. Um, Through that initial round of research, the research topic was so broad. It was just um, automated warehouse and delivery in general. I hadn't picked a specific niche. So the things that I learned through there were just from various articles and media outlets. Like here we have Vox. I think Wired's in here. I'm pretty sure Forbes was on the list. Yeah, automotive news. Quartz, I love Quartz. That's a great news outlet. And I learned a lot of different general contextual facts and knowledge about the automated delivery industry, and those helped inform the initial research presentation that we did. And I kind of framed mine by wanting to make sure I carved out the who, the what, and the why, which were like really specific. The where and the when weren't as important this time around. I made sure to talk about who it negatively impacted, listing those out, and then giving some facts like backing up how it negatively impacts them, and then who it positively impacted. Um, that would be positive impact for society at large, workforce, consumers, large scale businesses, but definitely a negative impact for truckers, drivers, and sometimes small businesses. Um, the what, this was discussing some of the different approaches to automated delivery that are being used right now, like on the small scale. You have Amazon Scout. Um, that's another similar prototype in the San Francisco Bay Area. Um, this is Nuro, which is more like a medium-sized automated delivery that would drive on the roads versus the sidewalks. And then there's Auto and Too Simple, which are automated big rigs, which that just kind of blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I kind of always thought I'd see maybe a self-driving car just because it's small, but the automated trucking really sort of interested me. And then we had some drone delivery, and then I was asking, okay, well, why are these technologies being advanced? What is their purpose? What is the benefit of implementing these technologies? Because if they weren't beneficial or profitable, they wouldn't be getting funding. They wouldn't be happening. So switching to automation can increase your productivity and extremely decrease the cost for the consumer. It reduces emissions in traffic, and it can reduce the workload on the human on the side. Um, Showed some quantitative data, back that up. That's just talking about like hours worked um, versus productivity. This is a chart showing that in across the board entirely in the U.S., the only industry that has seen sufficient or like sustained its productivity growth is the information industry, and this should make sense because if you think about it, we've really geared all of our AI technology and research towards the information technology and media industries, and not towards the actual like laborious workforce or like the backbone of America, the blue collar industries, the things that probably could extremely benefit from some automation integration, but we seem to like want to put most of our energy into making automation for fun, not automation for like productivity. Um, and then if we were going to implement this, like how would it work or like what would be the best way to do it? I wanted to ask myself those questions. So you would need to make sure you relieve public paranoia. From the get-go, I could see that people were concerned or skeptical about autonomous delivery. It's just kind of weird. Um, you would want to educate and retrain workers. Like you just wouldn't want to leave that whole trucking workforce or whatever workforce would get displaced. You wouldn't just want to leave them hanging. You would almost want to see the see the displacement coming and come up with a program that would keep them keep them employed and keep their salaries the same, so you wouldn't have a bunch of people losing thousands of dollars a year in income. And then highlighting some like key points. The last mile being the last stretch of the delivery process is actually the most expensive, like the tiniest bit once you're off the interstate and like within like a 10-mile radius of your delivery spot. It's the most dangerous. It can be the most expensive. We want to see technology advance quickly, but not too quickly that we can't anticipate or that we can't keep up or we can't keep people employed. Like we want to make sure that society can keep up with the technological advances that we're introducing. We just want to ensure that the rise of the machine is not the fall of the worker. So after I finished that, I knew I needed to get a little bit more specific. So I picked the autonomous semi-truck industry specifically that I was most interested in. I think it's a specific workforce, a specific kind of people, and it's an interesting job because these are blue-collar people. They don't require higher education or a lot of training, but they make decent money, and they can make a medium, they can make a middle class wage or like upper middle class wage through trucking. And if that is completely gone, you're going to eradicate a pretty large workforce that a lot of middle America and some of Western America, their economies completely rely on. So I was interested in that. So I knew I needed to get some primary research, so I reached out to r/truckers, which is a Reddit page with about 23,000 members. It seems pretty active. I made a post about 12 hours ago. Nothing yet. Still waiting on a response. Hopefully soon. And then I also got the phone number of a mutual friend who works in the trucking industry. I sent them 5 pretty pointed questions with a lot of sub-questions. They said they'd be getting back to me over the weekend when they had more time. So I'm waiting on that. However, like I wanted to still be able to do the audio research with primary research, or the audio research in general, but I had to supplement it with secondary research. So I just hopped back on Arena, did some more research, but focusing more on finding video and audio content. What I found was 2 videos from Wired Media, 2, a video from Vox, and then a couple of vlogs. Apparently there's a lot of trucker vlogs. Truckers like to vlog, so there's a lot of truckers talking about their personal opinion on these issues that are happening right now. So I used those and pulled them into GarageBand and tried to make some sort of cohesive, mashed up, spliced like audio file discussing topics around job security, like the morals behind automating the trucker industry. Some truckers see it as an inevitable. Some truckers are mad about it. It's really interesting, but a couple of key things that I did learn was that most of the automated trucks that are being produced right now are not meant to be 100% driverless all the time. They're only meant to be automated while they are on the interstate, and then they would have a driver with them when they hop off the interstate just to finish that last mile because it's the most expensive and the most dangerous. So they just like would want a human there just to be able to react quickly to all the different situations that could happen. And truckers are actually experiencing a little bit of an encroachment on their personal lives as a trucker already through these like computer mileage tracking systems that have been mandated and like regulated to be in every single big rig. And they pretty much like track your driving hours to make sure that you're not working over the recommended amount of time, but it's kind of just caused a little bit of like an uncomfortable feeling for the truckers. They just feel like they're being watched like lab rats. They're lacking autonomy. They don't feel trusted. They don't feel like people are taking them seriously or like competent, and that these machines are now controlling their like day-to-day lives. There's pretty much like it's not allowing them to be as organic and flexible and autonomous in their working schedules. They feel a lot more like someone's breathing down their neck, which I think kind of defeats the purpose of being a trucker and being alone and being on the road a lot and just kind of doing your own thing. So I got got a lot of good content out of these videos that I put in the audio file. As soon as I get responses from my primary research, I will insert them into the audio file. Now I'm just trying to kind of look at the different avenues that I have ahead of me as far as user experience or user journeys go. You know, training current drivers to how to react to automation coming into their industry, maybe rethinking the user experience with these computer tracking systems that they're being so hesitant towards, or maybe kind of like projecting about what the new industry would look like, where it is half self-driving trucks on the interstates and half humans doing the last mile. So there's different avenues that I need to explore, but I'm going to try to figure that out over the next week.